Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I have a bunch of very vested Nigerians in the diaspora who are agreeing to meet and talk today to discuss what's been going on. It's an eventful week in Nigeria. It's like every day something new happens. My people, how are they?
You're fine, no. Thank you,
Yeah,
my brother.
I know
Doing
it's
well, thank God.
I know it's late in the night, so I appreciate you making time. But I felt it was a good idea, and I appreciate you making time to just discuss. A lot's been going on, and it's getting closer to home. Kitib Zabi, with the insecurity in the country. There was news today about herdsmen.
Yes, sir.
It looks like it's kind of trickling down. First it was in the north, and it's kind of far away from you initially, but now it's kind of slowly creeping down and starting to worry people. So hoping to get your thoughts, guys, as to first of all, what your thoughts are on the latest attack that was in Oyo State, and what your fears and concerns are. I know you guys have a lot on your mind, so if we take it one by one, hopefully we can have a good discussion.
Yeah, if I could just go first and say a few points. You did say it's getting closer to home. I beg to disagree. I think it's already home.
Hmm. Strong,
Because
strong.
the north, middle belt, now it's everywhere. You can't travel peacefully now. You can't travel with peace of mind anywhere in the southwest. If you're going to Ondo, there's a problem. If you are going to Oshun, they can kidnap you. If you're going to Lagos, Ibadan, it's risky. Like, I'm scared to go back home. I have to go back home to see my parents at some point. But that background fear is always there. Like, will I be safe when I travel?
Yeah.
You know, and this Fulani herdsmen in quotes, they say they are not Fulani, but we don't know who they are. Attacking all these small villages. They're going to infiltrate the towns and then the cities. And then, are we in a state of war? We don't even know. Because if you're in a state of war, then you're going to know. But in a situation whereby you think everything is okay, we have a government, we have an army, we have police, and you sleep, you're not sure you're going to wake up, you're not sure if they're going to burn down your village or they're going to burn down your town or city. That is worse than a war. If you're in a war, at least, you try
You
to protect
prepare.
yourself in your own little way, You run away if you need to run away, but you think it's peaceful. But I mean, I don't know what is happening. It's total anarchy, in my opinion.
So, Ajim, let me go to you. So, what are your thoughts? Femi is saying that we're, already it's already here, and you were fortunate to be home recently. Did you get the sense of, danger? I know there's insecurity on the roads. My own personal example is my dad had to travel. He had to fly because he was so scared to go by road on a 5 6 hour trip. So any thoughts to add to what Magu said?
Well, first and foremost, I'm happy to be here. You know, anything that will take my mind off Arsenal season, is a welcome is a welcome development. That being said, I think the Fulanis have always been there. I think they've always been grazing in, Ondo, Ekiti, Oyo. They've always been there. It's just that the polity is so heated that now there's so much insecurity because of failed governance and poverty. I think back in the days, you have those cows, they eat your crops and you don't care because you have overflowing crops. But when you are poorer and you rely on those crops as a farmer for sustenance, and their cows are eating your crops, you're going to push back. Those Fulani guys, they travel with machetes and cutlass because they sleep in the forests, when they graze their cows. So if you attack them, they will attack you back. So I think it's a failed governance. The government has failed us. And you see people just like express their anger, and their annoyance. Because again, it's about survival. The Fulani guys are trying to survive. The farmers also are trying to survive. So it's pretty much a fight between farmers and Fulani and cows destroying crops and farmers pushing back, and then you have all-out violence and take it out of villages that have no security. So again, if there's no security, it comes down to like, why is the government not addressing these issues? The cops have never really been there anyway. So it just boils down to economy, field society, and poverty. That's the
So,
bottom
so what
line.
you're saying is this is an expected trajectory. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Thought
yeah,
it.
it's because those villages didn't have police before anyway. Nothing has really changed. What has changed is just that there's more poverty in the system.
Yeah.
Not just that, there's also now AK-47. Fulani herdsmen now have AK-47. They didn't have that before. So this is not like just battle for survival. This is oppression because the farmers are
Yeah,
poor.
yeah. But my thing is, but why did they have AK-47? Why? They didn't have it before.
We
So why
don't
do
know.
they have it
Who
now?
will get the money to
Because
get
again,
you don't need
because again,
AK-47 to rear cows. You don't need AK-47.
I agree with you. What I'm saying is that if you think about it objectively, yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't have that before. So
Yes.
why did they have it? Because again,
Nigeria started democracy.
Okay, guys, let's one person talk
okay,
then.
okay. Again, you have a gun for two reasons: either to cause harm or to protect yourself. So are you saying that they are robbers? They graze cows and they rob people as well?
Yes, yes.
That is of course that's counterfactual.
No. It's not counterfactual. If you look at it this way, you can't. Let me put it this way, and I'm sorry to say, in every conflict, it's not always two sides. There are multiple sides, and there are even sides that will come in later and take over or hijack the conflict. In this whole thing that we are saying Fulani herdsmen, of course, not all of them are Fulani, not all of them are herdsmen. There are bandits mixed with them. There are, Islamic fundamentalists mixed with them. There are Bokoharam sympathizers mixed with them, all join. That's what we're saying, because if you look at it objectively, I haven't had the full information, of course, just sketchy videos, but for you to raise a town in a town hall, it's not just 5 men with AK-47 that can do that level of damage. It looks like a coordinated group of almost like militia-like people, probably 20 or more, with well-armed, with coordination.
Definitely more than 20.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it looks like the kind of damage that a group of well-armed militia would do. So you cannot say a militia is the same as Fulani herdsmen that are carrying 20 cows or not 20, probably hundreds of cows. So it's simplistic to just say this is Fulani herdsmen. It's basically a consequence of insecurity. The Fulani herdsmen have their own, but they are also bandits, even moving down with the typical bandits that mix with Boko Haram, and now there's splinters of bandits that just want money. They are not interested in whether Western education or not. And all these groups, they are coming down south, and they will continue coming, in my opinion, like that, because the lack of governance, lack of rule of law, lack of military presence, police presence is just a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. Things, once a vacuum is there, something will fill it. And the anarchy we are seeing, feudalism, feudal lords will come up, Sunday Igboho and other people will claim their own territory, there will be friction, and so on and so forth until it escalates. Unfortunately, that's the trajectory I see.
Well, just for me to come in, I want to give some perspective into what actually happened, because I spoke with someone back home. It happened at Igongon, with North Oyo State. According to my source, the Fulani people has always been there for many years, because that part of Oyo State has vast lands that cows could graze. So I agree with Ajiboye that the Fulanis have been there for a while. But also, I agree with Sotonte that the Fulani herdsmen their camp might have been infiltrated by bandits, by Boko Haram sympathizers. So it's based on, number one, poverty. But I think, to me, the main reason why this thing has failed and deteriorated, because we've had these Fulani people in that Igongon for many, many years. I'm talking about 15, 20 years. So this is not the first time they've been there. But they now feel emboldened to wreak havoc on the community, because the president of our country is their kinsman. And they've been doing this, they've not been checked. So I think the insecurity, it falls down to the people in leadership. And I strongly feel disappointed in the current president, to me personally, because in 2015, I wanted him to win because I thought it would bring a change. And it fooled so many people, you know. You need to see, at least as per official result, 11 people were killed. But we know that usually, once that is the official report, likely more than that.
Yeah.
Over 20, many houses were burnt. You guys saw the video.
Yeah.
And I tried to talk to a colleague of mine that is a current chairman of a local government in Oyo State. And he doesn't, of course, that is not his own local government, but he said he will reach out back to me to give me more details. But during the security meeting tomorrow with the governor of Oyo State. But, you know, it seems from the way he spoke, the governor might not be able to do much because the power that allows these herdsmen is coming from Abuja. That is the honest truth, you know. This my colleague, he just won local government election in Oyo State last May, you know, and it's a pity. It's a pity, you know. It's a pity.
So the thing is this, yeah. From what everybody has said, of course, for me, I'm just trying to think about the root of this evil. It seems like the Fulani guys and the villagers, they know themselves. Because if they've been in that community for 20, 30 years, 15 years, they know themselves. Now, Totti said, of course, there's other factors, Bokoharam, you know, and bandits that want to use insecurity to cause havoc and maim people and steal and plunder. What has changed? Of course, government has changed, and they feel emboldened, like Larry said, about with the government in power not doing anything to curtail any form of violence. Do you understand? But I'm saying you can argue that these are communities that have coexisted in 15, 20 years.
But
Even
the
if
point
bandits,
is, are they the same people? Are they? Is it people that?
Because the thing is even if bandits infiltrate them, I feel like they know themselves. They're top three. You know what I mean? The Fulani guys know themselves. The villagers know themselves, and they know who is who. So what has changed?
No, my question is the point that Totti raised that
President.
No,
I
They
think
know
what
themselves.
has changed is this. I think we have more Fulani herdsmen with the people that have been in that town for 15, 20 years. They didn't have AK-47. And they've integrated well with the community, with the Yoruba community for a while, peacefully. Now, we now have more Fulani herdsmen that have been emboldened because Buhari is the president, who now have AK-47. And
radicalized.
when they got to that Igogon, they saw their own people. They just need to speak Fulani or Hausa language. And they were like, this is my brother. And they would not tell them that we are not in charge. And the people that grew up, that have been the Fulani herdsmen, that have been nice to the indigenous for many years, they will step back because they see AK-47. And those will take over.
Yeah.
And it's either you join us or you get out of them. So
let me tell you something. Quickly, briefly.
Take over.
Do you think is the banditry?
The government, the central government.
No,
Yeah, the banditry that is, I'm just, it's 30 seconds, brief point. The banditry that is happening in the northeast, the Niger State students that were kidnapped, let's be factual. Do you think it is people from the Yoruba South, or I'm not trying to be tribalistic, but do you think it's people from a different place, maybe from South that went up to Niger State to arrange that school? It's probably Fulani people that are around that area, that know that area, that did it. Similarly, what stopped, the typical Fulani, I'm not trying to be tribalistic, but typical Fulani is a very nomadic person that moves all over the country, moves. What stops the people from Niger from moving, migrating in their normal patterns, coming down, and they see that these people are so peaceful here in Ngogo, so look at things ripe for plunder. Let us,
my question,
continue our plunder.
My question is,
and these same weapons, last point, these same weapons that you are saying, why are they carrying AK-47 now? The answer is simple. The fall of Gaddafi and other areas, instability around, weapons are flooded into that whole sub-Saharan Africa. A lot of the people since that time, weapons were just flowing anyhow. in the northeast, and Boko Haram take their own pieces of weapon. Other people, local warlords, Alaji take their own weapons. That's why weapons are proliferated up north, especially, and it's flowing down south. That's my own point.
Guys, let's wrap this up. It's 15 minutes. Ajay, I'll give you a
So
second to talk if you have a comment. Go too. My question is: are we wrongly generalizing to say this is a herdsman effect, or like Totti said, is it a coordinated effort to use that group of people who have hitherto been very peaceful to, cause disarray and, break the country up?
I personally, I feel that, I feel like, because I don't know what happened, and we all don't know what happened, except we have like reporters on the ground, and we can interview and do some research and investigate. So we are all speculating. That being said, I feel like Totti has said, weapons are proliferated with the rising tension in Nigeria, especially with those Fulanis. They felt like there's a need for them to harm themselves. And then, with any minor escalation in tension in the village for whatever fight or disagreements that could have been settled amicably before, when you didn't have AK-47, you only had cutlass. I can talk about and disagree and agree and move on. Now can easily get escalated because now you have weapons and you're now burning down villages.
Okay.
Personally, I feel like we said, it's a failed government, a failed policy. Just like in America, people were emboldened to be more racist when we had the past administration, as opposed to now when people are now things are back to normal again.
Good point.
So in Nigeria as well, when you have the president that says nothing and is your kingship, is your kinsman, you feel emboldened. It's the same thing.
Yeah, good point. Margo, final word.
Yeah, to answer your question, are we overgeneralizing, saying all this thing is being orchestrated by the Fulani herdsmen? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Like Ajiboye said, the Fulani herdsmen, the bandits, they kind of know themselves, and like Sotonte said, it's like a militia action. I think all the whole thing is complicated, because if you look at the nature of the Fulanis, they like to take over, they like to dominate, they like to rule. Fulanis and Hausas are not the same. The Hausas, if you see them together, you see the Hausas suffering. The Fulanis are the elites. So they are used to being in power. So that's what they are trying to do, to take over. On the other hand, by the side, you have the Islamist fundamentalists as well that believe in jihad, that believe that anywhere they go, they should just take over. So the jihadist element, the Fulani element, and all those then bandits with guns and all that, it's complicated. So yeah, to answer your question, are we generalizing saying Fulani? Probably yeah. It's more than that. It's more than that. And I think Nigerian government cannot handle it because there is probably no political will to handle it. I don't know why. Because a reasonable government should ask for help from other West African countries. There was a time other West African countries were helping Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and we were seeing them crushing Bokoharam. There was relative stability beginning to take place in the north. All of a sudden, what we heard was we've technically defeated Bokoharam, so there's no problem anymore. And then slowly, the problem started escalating. Is it Bokoharam? Is it jihadist? Is it Fulani herdsmen? Is it bandits? So I think this is a failed government, unfortunately. Like, I don't see this government doing anything. So we are generalizing here. There's multiple factors, multiple components to this problem. We need somebody in power. We need a group of people in power who are serious, who will not just watch people die and not do anything, rather than the bunch of jokers I think we have there now.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
Well said, my people. Thank you so much, man. We'll wrap this up today. It's a somber day.